Cemal'in arkadaşları arasında olmaktan,
I am humbled to be among the friends of my beloved Jamal. I am honored to be here. Yet at the same time, I am in an emotional state which is hard to express in words. The disappearance of Jamal has left a void in my heart and soul.
Middle East Monitor and Al-Sharq Forum were the last two institutions to host Jamal Khashoggi. We believe, therefore, it is our duty, our moral duty, to honor him and to pay tribute to his memory. Given his outstanding work and achievement as a journalist, not just a Saudi journalist, but as an internationalist, someone whose message transcended way beyond Saudi Arabia and the Middle East, we think that his achievements ought to be recognized and celebrated. And this is why we're here tonight.
All of us have come together in order to voice our, condemnation of the heinous crime committed against him, but also to demand that we know the truth, especially who ultimately ordered the murder of Jamal Khashoggi. Jamal was a great friend, but also was a great journalist. And Jamal stood for values, and he stood in order to defend the ideals of democracy and freedom.
أحببت أن يكون مدفنك في البقيع فصار لك في كل قلب طاهر مقام ومنزل. يا ابن الحجاز، لقد رفع الله ذكرك، لقد رفع الله قدرك، فهذه القدس والشام، بغداد والقاهرة، تونس والرباط، الدوحة وصنعاء، حواضرنا وبوادينا وأريافنا تفخر بك.
The news came through early on a Tuesday evening that he disappeared after visiting the Saudi consulate. As the days rolled on, it got through to Saturday night, and there was a news alert that the Turks put out that they believed that Jamal had been killed and dismembered inside the Saudi consulate. That took things to an extraordinary new level. Trump's instincts were to set this aside and to maintain US economic and strategic relationships with Saudi Arabia, and that this was an inconvenience. It's understandable that there are large numbers of US jobs and investment dollars at stake here, but there is also a matter of extreme international importance and principle, and it took Trump a long time to come round to that.
What we have to make sure is that this time there is a fundamental change in Western government policy towards Saudi Arabia, and that MBS is held accountable for this, and this leads to deep reform in Saudi Arabia.
Hopefully this evening is also an opportunity, as well as marking Jamal's contribution to the world through his values and his journalism and the legacy that he's left, to also draw attention to the plight of many more journalists around the world who are detained tonight, held in prison cells, and many others who've also been murdered and their families left behind because of the work that they do.
The Saudi man who raised his voice, the Saudi man who took a detour for love, the Saudi man who paid for his freedom with his life. You have given your people a hero to believe in.
It's a terrible, terrible attack on every Saudi in threatening them and telling them that this is what happens to Saudis who criticize the country. And I hope it's a message that Saudis understand and resist.